if people, you've known me for
20 years?
16, not that long, at least 17 years, 16,
Right.
17 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've known me.
Right.
And some of the things that have been said to me or about me, or the impression people have said things about me,
Yeah.
it's
laughable.
highly laughable.
It's totally laughable.
I mean, if I could just recount some of the things that people have said about me or think that I am or have accused me of, it's just like, wow, really? How did you get that impression?
And you're another one, really. Don't do drugs. Don't drink. I mean, you drink a little, but I mean little. Like, I've seen you even buzzed once. And that was on this show.
Right.
That one night that you
Yeah,
were
that was like 7 years ago.
Yeah. But me and you have gone, let's just put it this way. When we do shows out, when we do them at Billy Morris's clubs, whatever they're named at the time, the deal is that we have open bar.
Right.
We can drink 100 drinks, and Billy won't say boo about it. Billy will never cut us off. Billy will never say no, because he's like that. He's just a good guy like that.
Sure.
And I don't think you've ever. I mean, Billy's gone out of his way to buy you a bottle of wine.
Yeah, he'll buy me a Magnum, and I might finish half, which is basically one bottle of wine.
Right. And that's over the course of 8 hours.
Yeah.
Because we're there early.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's me, where he's like, oh, how much is this going to fucking cost me?
Sure.
Because I'll drink like a fish.
Right.
But you're not a boozer. You're not a partier. I mean, even if you take the drinking out of it, you're not even really a partier.
Nah, not really. I'm in it for the music and the entertainment, but I'm not in for the woo party. Woo!
But even if you're out with like chicks or whatever, you're not running around to this party or that party.
Nah, actually, I don't like parties, to be honest with you. I don't enjoy parties.
That's what I mean. I mean, you might go out for a dinner or a movie or stuff like that. Never the wild shit.
Nah.
Ever. In 17 years, I can't think of one time that you've gone to some crazy thing.
Nope.
Ever.
Nope.
And I've been backstage with you when crazy things have happened, and you stay the fuck out of it.
Sure.
You just stay the fuck out of it. So for anybody to accuse you of, a lot of the things that you get accused of, the fucking womanizing party.
That's the part that always makes me laugh.
The womanizing partier, you.
Yeah, me.
You. Now, me, yes. I mean, I definitely like to run, and I definitely like to stick my dick in different women. But fucking you, I mean, even when you do this or that, you're quiet.
Yeah.
You want no attention to anything.
Sure. Well, even back in the 80s and the early 90s when I did work in a club,
yeah,
I got accused of it then too. The different people I'd make acquaintances with, mostly girls.
Right.
Their impression of me, and I'm not exactly sure if it's my demeanor or whatever, but their impression is you've probably banged every girl in this club.
Well, probably did.
So I don't know, man. It's just hysterical.
You probably did. You banged your share, but even if you did, you were quiet about it.
Probably banged every girl in this club.
But be honest, they were partly right.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I had the opportunity, but I didn't capitalize on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was opportunity, but I just didn't take it.
Didn't take it all the way, or just didn't?
No, I just didn't take it. I mean, here we go, revealing some stuff.
All right.
There were times. Okay, this club I worked at.
Yeah.
It was a rock club. Actually, the people who own it, they're still very good friends of mine. Well, this club was like the premier club in the area. It was a big club, a big 2-story club. It was everything you could want for an 80s nightclub. It had smoke and lasers and lights and strobes and big sound system, big video system, because they used to show all the MTV style videos.
Right.
You know, I think every month they used to get the releases of the latest music videos, and they would play that, and there would be like a sports bar thing on Monday Night Football, and they would have, you know, it was just a big rock club, and, you know, they featured on the weekends mostly rock, and then, you know, through the week they would have various things going on, but like Wednesday night was ladies' night, so they would have the either the Chippendales or another male dance troupe come up called the LA Express.
Okay.
And it was, you know, it was the ladies' naked man night, you know. So they got a lot of the women in there, and they would come there on Wednesday, and then after the show was over, it would be, you know, open bar for everybody. And so in any club business, and I know you know this, wherever the women are, that's where the crowd is. So if you could get the women in the club, the club would always be packed. So I worked at this club as a DJ, and then I would also do management. You know, I would kind of manage the place, and I had various jobs there that I would do.
Okay.
And you know, I was your typical, I was kind of your typical club manager. You know, I always dressed in the cool suits and the tie, and, you know, was very, for, you know, to use an old term, very dapper, you know, and everybody knew who I was, and the people who owned the club, they trusted me, and in fact, they would tell everybody that I was their son. They would just tell them, that's our son, you know. And then that was the reputation I had. So of course, you know, I had a table where it was my table, and it would, you know, that's his table, you know. And then I would send one of the waitresses to, if I saw an attractive girl or something that I thought was kind of cute, I would send for her, you know, have her join me at my table.
Jesus, this is a scene from Goodfellas.
Basically, man. Yeah. Basically, it was. It was. But it wasn't to the point to where I took advantage of people or thought, you know, I was hot shit or anything. It was just, you know, I made it my own space. And it was cool, you know. And then on certain nights I would be the DJ, and this DJ booth was above the floor. So, you know, it was a very modern club for at the time, and it was very cool. So, anyway, I would always get that, is that if I would talk to chicks or whatever, you know, and I wasn't even scamming on them. I was just more or less getting to know them. Oh, you know, you probably banged every girl in this place, you know, but that wasn't the case at all.
So you weren't even getting them to blow you? Nothing.
No, dude, it really wasn't about that at all. You know, it really wasn't about that. You know, I went there because I enjoyed having a lot of fun. But I wasn't getting soused, and I wasn't drinking, and I didn't do drugs, and I was just there for the entertainment of it. You know, it was just a lot of fun for me. So
wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
So you weren't drinking.
Nope.
You weren't drugging.
Nope.
And you weren't banging chicks.
Nope.
What's the fun?
I just like being out in the atmosphere and just having a good time. You know, kind of being in the center of attention, if you will, you know, because I kind of called the shots there, you know.
Right.
So it was.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So anyway, long story short, so this one gal come in, and she used to come in there all the time, and I would see her pretty frequently, but I didn't really give her much thought for some reason. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. But she was a real attractive gal, and she, I don't know what you want to call her. She just I liked her, but I didn't know her, but, you know, I just sort of like, there's something about this chick, you know, but I didn't know what it was.
Right. So but you knew you wanted to find out more.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. So one evening I went over to her table and sat down and just started chit-chatting with her a little bit. And she's just like, you know, I've been coming in here for a year, and I noticed you were looking at me, and you never said anything to me, and what's your story, and the whole thing. And, you know, so we just kind of talked, and she's like, you know, let's go out on the dance floor and dance, you know. So I went out there and was talking to her, you know, and she was pretty, you know, pretty smoking girl.
Okay.
And I'll never forget this as long as I live, because it was embarrassing and it was surprising at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like dancing the slow dance with her. I think it was like White Snake Is This Love or something.
Oof. Okay.
Why is that oof?
Come on, man. Because you weren't even trying to do anything. You
All
were
right.
just. I can just see you fucking crooning with her and fucking hand in the middle of her back and you know little dip action and stuff. Is this love that I'm feeling? And she's fucking looking you in the eyes, clearly wanting to fucking you to have that feeling of love that Coverdale's singing about.
Sure.
And meanwhile, you're just like, I'm just in it for the atmosphere.
Well, again, now let me finish the story.
All right.
So I'm out there dancing with her, and mind you, I thought she was pretty smoking, and so, you know, we're dancing, and she pushes away from me, and she looks down, and she says, either you have a really big cigarette lighter in your pocket, or you're getting just a little too excited here. I mean, just right in the middle of the dance floor.
So you were getting wood in the
Oh
dance
yeah.
floor?
Oh yeah. I was just like, oof, this is just like, you know. So we go over.
No. You can't walk away from that one.
Yeah.
You fucking respond to this?
There's no response. I just pulled her back toward me and just continued dancing with her.
You didn't even go, oh, sorry about
No,
that.
there's no. I mean, what are you gonna say? You just
Why
like,
don't you check? Put your hand in my pocket and see if it's a lighter.
right. So we go back to her table, right?
Yeah, I'll bet. You fucking all hunched over and her walking.
Right. So we go back to her table, and she and her friends are there and whatever. And so I said, okay, listen, I'll talk to you later. So I leave, right?
Yeah.
Next Friday, I'm there at my table. She comes in just dressed to the nines.
Okay.
Literally runs up to me, and mind you, this is like 1989, I think.
Mm-hmm.
She runs up to me, short skirt, heels, the whole thing, looking smoking hot, literally jumps up on my lap.
Oh.
And just sticks her tongue down my throat.
Jesus. And then she got lifted up 3 to 5 inches, fucking, and your erection came back, right?
Of course, I'm just like, whoa, wait, what is this, you know?
Okay.
And so she's just like, well, my girlfriend and I were discussing things. And I said, yeah. And she says, I know I just met you last week. All right. Yeah. And I know you don't know anything about me.
Mm-hmm.
She says, I'm getting married in September. Now, mind you, this was like May or June. She goes, I'm getting married in September. And she says, I really like you. So what I was wondering is if you would like to be my fling before I get married.
Okay.
I was just like, are you shitting me?
All right.
So okay, mind you, I'm only 20, let's see, what was I, 27, 28
Okay.
at the time, 27.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, there's just no way. Listen to my reasoning here.
All right.
I don't know this girl from Adam, okay?
So?
See,
go ahead.
See, that's your whole attitude. It's so, what's the big
Yes.
deal? So, you know, whatever. But when you think about it, when you have time to think about it, and that's the difference between you and I and some other people, is that they don't think about it, they just act on it.
Yeah.
Me, I think about this kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, okay, well, why are you getting married to this guy, whoever he is, but yet you're going to do this instead? It's like, why are you even bothering to get married? Why? You know? And so
you're that guy?
I am that guy.
And I am totally, man, why did I do that, guy? I'm fine with, man, why did I do that? I'm perfectly okay with that thought.
Okay.
difference in opinion, I guess.
It is, but I'm thinking to myself, if she's doing this, why is she even bothering getting married?
Well, that's a good point.
It's just like, what is your problem? Mm-hmm. So she goes, so what do you think? And I'm just like, ugh. I'm going to have to think that. She goes, then it starts in with the whole, well, don't you like me? Don't you find me attractive? And see, now it turns into all about her. It's like if you balk at it, now there's something wrong with her. Am I defective? Am I ugly? Am I not good enough? Am I not? And it's just like, no, that's not the issue at all. It's you're obviously another guy's gal.
Sure.
I don't necessarily want to be involved with that. You know what I mean? It's just like, because as you know, and you've said this a million times yourself,
yeah,
and it's even in that little bumper I play about Aiken's crazy chicks.
Yeah.
They just go nutty.
Well, yeah, they do.
And you get caught in the middle of something like that, and something was said not right, or you did something that didn't set with them, or you made a weird comment, or you're misunderstood. You're in the middle of, oh, is this what you think of me? Well, you just wait till I tell my boyfriend.
Yeah, okay.
You know, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Who needs that kind of drama?
Yeah, but see that, and that's a whole nother where me and you are different. You're not a fight guy.
Well, no, and no, I'm not. And what am I fighting over? Some chick who wants to give it up for nothing?
Yeah. Well, no, you're not doing that. But if the boyfriend shows up, you fucking beat him down.
But why?
Why not? Because he's showing up. Fucking.
Yeah, but why are you banging his chick to begin with?
Because that's her fucking decision. I'm just a penis filling her.
Right. So you claim no culpability in this decision making at all.
None. She's offering pussy. I'm like, that's no guy. That would be me. I'd be like, yeah, all right. Whatever. You obviously don't give a fuck. Somebody's gonna fuck this pussy. Might as well be me.
Well, again. See, that's the difference between you and me. Is I would never go. I don't go down that road. It's just like, you know what? I don't need this drama. Don't need it.
Well,
I don't need some guy banging at my door at 3:00 in the morning with a pistol or something going on there. Where's my chick? Or I heard you did this, or you son of a bitch.
Right. Well, I got a pistol too. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let's have a duel.
Right. Who are you, Raymond Burr or John Burr or whatever?
Is it John Wilkes Booth?
Yes, whatever.
Raymond Burr.
The Burr, the guy from way back in the early part of the American history.
Yeah, whatever his name is, I don't know.
But anyway, because I don't drink, and because I don't do drugs or party, I've always had a very clear vision or clear mind or very clear conscience to where I'm not influenced to do something like that.
Yeah, but you have. On some level you have.
Maybe on some level, but not when some girl that you just met a week ago attacks you in the club and tells you she's getting married in September and she wants you to be her last fling.
Right.
It's like, I don't know about that. Aaron Burr, there you go. Blade Runner got it.
Right.
But still, this kind of temptation or opportunity happened, I'm not going to say frequently, but more often than your average Joe.
All right.
But I because of not being influenced by drugs and alcohol and stuff, I would turn that kind of stuff down.
All right. Well, here's the question. How many married women have you done something with? Fucked them, got blown, whatever.
Married women?
Married women.
Knowingly married?
Yes.
Knowingly married.
Know that they're married.
In my lifetime?
In your lifetime.
3.
So basically, the last half hour is bullshit because then you got 3.
Well, but you said anything.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Anything.
Yeah.
And it can't be just fucking giving her a kiss or something like that.
Oh, well, okay. Well, if you're taking
something, there has to be jism.
No, that's not necessarily the case.
There has to be at least some cum happening.
No.
Never.
No.
Come on.
No.
Ugh, this is where you and I are so different.
But dude, really.
I've told the one story, haven't I?
Of which one?
My girl Brenda that I was engaged to.
Well, yeah, the girl from Michigan?
Yes.
Okay.
That's one. There was this other one.
Okay.
It's a terrible story.
All right.
But since we're telling terrible chick stories, I'll tell this fucking terrible chick story. So when I was in the military in advanced training, you go to basic training and then you go to what's called AIT.
Right.
Okay. In AIT, advanced individual training.
Right.
I did it in South Carolina, and there was a hotel in South Carolina, a Holiday Inn that we all went to on the weekends. Like you weren't allowed to go for the first month. So after the first month, then you could go to the Holiday Inn and party all weekend. You get a pass. So I was there one weekend, and I had been scamming on this one girl, and her roommate was the wife of one of my friends in the unit with me.
Okay.
So he graduated and left like 3 weeks before I did. And I was like white on rice. As soon as he left, the very next weekend we were able to go out to the fucking place, and sure as shit, I go out to the place, to the Holiday Inn, and she's in the pool. So I go and I go up to her and I'm like, oh, you must be lonely.
Wow, look at you.
You must be lonely with him not being here and this and that. And she's like, yeah, it really sucks. And, I don't know what to do and this and that. And I was like, well, I've got some beer in the room. Why don't you come on up and we'll just drink some beers? And that lasted all of about 2 mouthfuls of a beer. Next thing I know, I was fucking on top of her.
Wow.
I just fucking fucked her to death.
To death?
Not to death, but
wow.
I fucking killed that. And then I did literally for the next 2 weeks, too, until she finally left. I mean, I just kept tagging it.
Sure.
Because what the fuck? I didn't care.
Right.
And he was in another fucking country. Wasn't like I had to worry about him coming back.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is that you gauge that situation by the opportunity. It's just like, he's like 1,000 miles away or 2,000 miles.
She's got to get dick from somewhere.
Right.
Might as well be me.
What a philosophy.
Yeah, well, that's it. Dude, all I cared about, especially in the military, when I was 19 and 20 years old, that's all I cared about.
Sure.
Was pussy. That was it, man. Dude, that time that I was in South Carolina, I was in South Carolina for 4 months, and I don't think, other than the first month where we weren't allowed off the base, I don't think I ever had a weekend where I didn't have at least one chick.
Look at Razor.
What? You say?
Fucked her to death, signed the death certificate with her severed arm, and then cremated the body.
Pretty much.
Wow.
No, dude, that's like it. All right, here's one. I already know your answer, but I'll ask it anyway. Ever banged a hooker?
No.
Never.
Never.
Never even had the opportunity and just didn't?
I've had no reason to do that.
At a party or anything?
No, hell no.
All right, here's another story. Since I'm telling really bad stories
Is this the one with your friend?
With the one at the bachelor party?
Yeah.
Did I tell that one on the air?
I think so. You and she was kind of real. She was real vile.
Oh no! I didn't tell this one.
Oh, okay.
That's one I could tell. Yeah, she was rude. That one was in South Carolina,
right?
And that was. This was in Korea. So, in Korea, there's this one girl, and she was really, really a good-looking girl. I mean, she was. I wanted to get up on her in the worst kind of way, but she was engaged the whole time to this other guy that was also there, and I was friendly with the guy. So at some point, they were getting married like 2 months before they left, before they were leaving together from Korea, and they were getting married. So I, being one of the better friends, volunteered to throw the bachelor party.
One of the better friends.
Yeah, I was one of the better friends.
Hang on a minute. Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Hail and Kill. It's good to hear that Chris was properly serviced while he was serving his country. Hail and Kill.
All right, go ahead. So you were one of the better friends and you threw a party.
Yeah, so I decided I would throw the bachelor party. And what I did was I had a friend that had an apartment, so we used his apartment. And I collected like $20 from each person that was coming to the party. And there was like 30 guys.
Okay.
That came to the apartment. So collected all the money. I bought some booze, which was dirt fucking cheap in Korea. You get a case of beer for like $4. And then I went downtown and I found me 2 Korean fucking whores. And I brought these 2 Korean chicks back to the place.
Look at Nathan.
What? That's good. If Chris's cock could talk, it would say, I've seen things. There is some truth to this.
All right, go ahead. So you went and bought the booze.
I bought the booze, but then I went down and I found me 2 Korean hookers.
Okay.
That were willing to fuck 30 guys each.
Oh, boy.
For $100.
Gee whiz. How old were you?
19.
19?
Yeah, I was 19 in Korea. Maybe 18.
Wow.
I think I might have been 18.
Okay.
So, bring these girls back to the place. You know, the guys are all hooting and hollering when I walk in with these 2 fucking Asian whores.
Right.
So we had two rooms, like 2 doored rooms. And so what we did was we took in dude first. You know, we let dude fuck them both first. You know, because he was the bachelor.
Right.
So he goes in and he bangs them first. Of course, since I was the fucking host, I was second. You know, I wasn't going to go in after that. And I absolutely banged them both. You know, absolutely did that. But this is where it gets really, you want me to be a creep? Here it comes.
All right.
I decide everybody else is going to start banging these chicks, right? I leave the party. Know where I go? I go and I find the fiance. And I tell her that I left the party because they had hookers there and were fucking hookers.
Oh, boy.
And she freaks the fuck out. And I'm the nice guy there to comfort her.
Right, because, you know, your morals were being compromised, so you had to leave the party because you didn't want anything to do with that debauchery.
Right. And of course, you know, she's crying and she's fucking horrified. And next thing you know, we're making out and I banged her.
Oh. Wow, you are a creep.
3 chicks, 2.5 hours.
Wow, I'm going to have to reevaluate my friendship with you.
One of my all-time lowest of the low moments.
At 18 or 19 years old?
Dude, all I cared about in Korea was pussy.
Where do you learn that at that age?
You know what? I had a girlfriend that, well, 2 things really. One, and I've told this story up before on the show, is I was the pot guy. You know, I used to deal weed, you know, in school. And with any of the chicks, if they wanted to fucking blow me for fucking weed, I was doing that every time. And I'll bet you in high school, I must have had 30 different chicks fuck me or blow me, you know, for weed. You know, I mean, so I got into that. And then when I went off and I was on my own and I could go and fucking really, really fucking get crazy.
Right.
And let me just tell you, Korea is a different kind of a sexual place than here in the States.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Anything goes over there.
Anything goes. Dude, and I don't know, I've told the story before about how we used to fucking play the pussy game where we'd put fucking a 20 on a table you know, me and my friend Jeff, we would be competing for the one room that we had in our apartment. And we would both put a $20 bill on the fucking coffee table, and then we would both go out. And the first one that came back with a chick would get the money that was on the table plus the one spare room. And then the other person that came back had to fuck in the living room and hope that nobody came out to fucking go to the bathroom or whatever.
Jeez.
Dude, I was out of my mind. No lie. I was in Korea 2.5 years. And before I met the ex, I was there a year and a half. Easily 150 chicks. Easily. Probably more. Because a lot of it was just fucking, you know, you'd go downtown. You could go downtown in Korea and buy one drink and go home with a chick.
Sure.
You could just do that.
Right.
And I did many, many times.
Wow.
You know, dude, there were weeks where there was fucking 6, 7 chicks. It was a fucking ridiculous fucking scenario. It was so easy. It was so fucking simple, dude. And I loved it. It was, you know, I was 18, 19 years old. I was out of control. I could drink. I could party. I could fuck. Who cared? It was great, dude.
Look at Nathan again. I was wrong. If Chris's cock could talk, it would say, kill me.
Probably would, because there was some. Let me just tell. Look, I'll tell all kinds of debauchery stories tonight. Jeez, I'm in that mood. So there was a bar that you could go to close to the DMZ. It was, and the bars up at the DMZ were really, really kind of dirty. You know, they were not clean places at all. But there was one bar, and it had this. You would sit at like these really high tables. And the table had a fucking a tablecloth that went all the way to the floor.
Right, right.
Okay? And what you would do is you would get in, you would go to this fucking bar with like 5 or 6 dudes. And literally, you would fucking, once you would sit down, you'd find a fucking chick that worked at the bar. You'd pay her $50. And probably not even that. I don't remember how much you'd pay. Maybe 20 at that time. I don't even remember. But you would pay her whatever it would cost, and then everybody would throw money on the table. $10, $20, $5, whatever you were playing, right? And you would fucking undo your pants and pull your cock out, would fucking pull the tablecloth like around your legs type of a thing. Okay?
All right.
And then you were playing fucking Russian roulette of blowjobs.
Oh boy.
And you would fucking, the chick would start blowing somebody, whoever fucking moved her, I guess. You know, the chick would start blowing somebody, and the first one that could identify who was getting blown fucking got the money. And
so you had to have a poker face.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we used to do, and we would go there, and we would stay there for hours, dude. We would stay there and fucking play 7, 8 rounds.
Did you get it? You'd have to have a poker face.
I got it. Poker face. Yeah. But dude, Korea was another fucking animal, dude. Here's another good story. There's a place in the seedy part of Seoul, or there used to be. I don't know if it's still there, but it was called Miyadi, and I don't know what that means, but that's what it was called.
Wasn't that the instructor's name on Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi?
Miyagi.
Oh, okay.
This was Miyadi.
Oh, okay.
He used to say, "Yeah, take me to Miyadi." So
okay, my mistake.
So you go in a pack to Miyadi's, and you would go with like 12 to 15 fucking guys at a time. And Miyadi's it's just one street. It's probably a half mile long, maybe a little longer, and nothing but sliding glass doors.
Okay.
And in each of the glass doors, there's 10 to 15 chicks that were fucking in the behind the glass.
Yeah, I've actually seen that on a documentary.
Okay. So you would go in and you would find a window where everybody that was with you would fucking find a chick, and nobody be fighting over which chick they wanted. You know? Because that was the big deal, is you go in and then everybody would fucking start bitching and moaning. Well, I wanted her, man. You know, so when I went, there was always a rule that we don't go into any until everybody decides ahead of time on different chicks.
Right.
So then you would go and you would you'd go in and you'd pay, and it was cheap as fuck. It was like $10, and so each guy had to pony up $10, and they would take you to like this big like I'd say it's like a party room, but it was definitely Oriental, whereas like, you know, you're sitting on the floor on pillows and it's like a table that's like two inches high, you know, one of those little fucking tiny tables that they have in Korea. And the girls would do the old school fucking, feeding the guys thing, where they would feed us. It was apples and beer. Don't ask me how that works, but it wasn't grapes, but they would feed you cut apples and pour beer in your mouth and just fucking, you know, do that for you for a while. And you know, they'd sing songs and, you know, whatever. And it was fun, you know. But then after that, then the sex show would start.
Right.
And the girls would one by one take off their clothes and just fucking, one girl would be throwing ping pong balls across the room with her puss. Another one would be fucking taping 3 cigarettes together and sticking them up in her snatch and fucking sucking the burning part cherries, cherry them up,
right,
and then blow smoke out of her pussy.
Sure.
Another one would break candles. Another one would stick a bottle opener in her puss and open new bottles of beer for everybody. Another one would break eggs in her pussy.
Right.
You know, it was fucking ridiculous. You know, I mean, it was 12 girls, and you're getting 12 shows, and all this for $10.
Right.
And then when the show was done and everything was gone, then you all went off into little rooms that they had, and you could bang the chicks all night.
Sure.
Until the morning.
Right.
For $10. Dude, it was the bomb. Loved it, man.
And then you got married?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was, you know what? I got into a zone. I'll tell the truth, man. I got burned out. I literally got burned. I was partying so fucking hard and so much. And I mean, I got in a lot of trouble in Korea too. I won't lie. I got busted 2 or 3 times for smoking pot and for, doing a lot of shit that I shouldn't have been doing. Got into way too many fights, got arrested 7, 8, 9 times, and I was the commanding general. I was the commanding general's driver for a lot of this time. So if I got arrested, I could just make a phone call and get out of it. So I never had to pay a penalty for acting like an asshole.
Sure.
And I was 18 years old, and the wild guy that I am anyway, it was a fucking license to be an ass.
Right.
And I did. I just did nothing but party, drink, fuck, smoke, anything I could do. Right before I met my now ex, I was just done. I was so tired. I was so burned up, from running that fucking hard, and was really drinking way more than even than you've ever seen me. That party we had last year?
Oh, yeah.
That was every day.
Right.
It was every day out of control like that.
Sure.
And it just got to where I was like done, and I wanted to settle down a little bit. And,
a little bit.
And that's when I met her.
Sure.
And she was perfect to settle down because she wasn't into the whole partying.
Right. Nathan from Kentucky, there's a bunch of 20-something-year-old Asian girls in Korea saying, I love Volbeat and I love Vivian Browns.
I've often thought about that, about if there are, because Lord knows there were not many times that fucking condoms were part of the equation.
Right. Well, my nephew, he's 20, I think he's like 28, 29.
Yeah.
He's 29 years old, single, got his own house, got his own, good gig, nice car. He's a pretty successful guy at 28. He's got pretty much everything going on.
Right.
And at that age, people start asking you questions like, you married? You got any kids?
Right, sure.
And his answer, because he's a lot like his uncle,
yeah,
he says, well, I haven't received that phone call yet.
That's funny. Yeah, I often wonder if I went back to Korea if I wouldn't see a bunch of fucking people that look just like me.
Right.
Scary thought, but they're realistically, I would bet there are some. Honestly, I would seriously bet that there's fucking some kids that are mine.
Wow.
Because, like I said, I had no care in the world.
Right.
As far as I was concerned, I was leaving. And after the first 3 months I'd been there, I was leaving before a kid was born. That's for sure.
Right.
I'm out.
I'm just gonna, hey girls, line up. I'm just gonna spray my seed in your general direction, and I'm out of here.
Dude, there were times. I mean, it was so crazy over there, man. And if you found yourself like a good little corner bar where there was like not people that were there, you could literally just have fucking waitresses that you would be banging, on a slow night. You'd be in there. One time I was in, and the name of the club was the Cherry Boy Club.
The Cherry Boy Club?
The Cherry Boy Club.
Almost sounds like a gay club.
No, it does, but it wasn't. It was just, it literally had 3 tables in it. It was this tiny fucking club. It was just called the Cherry Boy. And I used to go in there because nobody would go in there because it only had 3 tables. So it really wasn't that much fun. But it was good for a drink, and I used to bang this chick, Miss Yoon. And all the chicks are Miss whatever. Miss Han, Miss Yoon, whatever.
Right.
You learn their real name if you start dating them or whatever. But I used to go in with this Miss Yoon, and, I would go in there, and sometimes she'd give me a handy under the table. Fucking sometimes if she was the only one working, she would just close the door for fucking half hour, and I'd bang her right there on the fucking bar.
Oh, look at you. You're quite the virile man.
Dude, I didn't care. It was fun. I was 18, 19 years old. I was young.
Right. Hail and kill caller. You're on the air.
Chris, you definitely remind me of a former roommate of mine in college.
Why? Did he used to run crazy?
Well, your voice sounds a little bit like his, for one thing. And then second of all, there's the chick thing that he had going on.
Really?
Oh, I had 6 at one time. And then I was definitely the Neeley of the situation. I was the Neeley of the pair. I'm 19. Still a virgin. He offers to get me laid by some chick he met at working the night shift at Kmart. And I stop and think about it and say, how's this going to go? Hey, Kristen, this is Doghouse. Doghouse, this is Kristen. Okay, you two have fun. That's going to be weird. Nah, no thanks, dude. And then only after, a couple of weeks later, he was telling somebody else, yeah, I told Doghouse I'd get him laid, and he said, no thanks. I didn't, and I said, I don't want to put my dick somewhere your dick has been. He said, I didn't even do her yet. I was going to save her for you first.
He was saving her for you.
Yeah.
So great.
Wow.
And I said to myself, gosh, I'm glad. This is just too weird.
Too funny, man.
I'm glad I spilled off of that jam session. And I will say I'd never done a married woman either, but goddamn, there was one I wanted bad.
So why didn't you do her?
She was a married Sunday school teacher.
See?
Okay, so what?
So what?
I know, and then this was also up in college. I had a lot of wild days that didn't happen up in college. Wild things that almost happened but didn't because
right.
I Neeley'd out.
Yeah, exactly. You think about it and you go, ugh, you know what, man, I don't want to live with that.
I'd have given her my John 3:16.
Yeah, my last night in college, she took me out for dinner as because we were friends. I had a work-study job in one of the offices, and she was kind of like my supervisor, I guess, because we were friendly. So she took me out to dinner for like a graduation type dinner. And on the way back to the dorm, she says something about her husband was working away from home. Yeah. And I said, "What does he do? What does he do anyway?" And she said, "I have no idea." And I didn't do anything.
Right.
Oh, Doghouse.
And I missed out on it.
Yeah, you did. And now,
in the grand scheme of things, I'm kind of glad because we're still friends.
Right.
Yep, whatever. How many years ago was that?
10.
And you're still thinking about it?
I just talked to her a couple weeks ago.
If you would have hit it, it wouldn't even be an issue anymore, even if you were still friends.
I'd like to think that, but
I'm definitely right on that. It would have faded.
But I've got the Neeley gene.
Right.
Well, have at it.
I've got the fuck up a wet dream gene.
You guys can pound your dicks with no puss forever. It's fine.
That's right. Just not together.
I would hope not.
Oh, boy.
Fuck you, pal. Fuck somebody.
Is this too much?
No, I just think it's funny because, you know, the way it comes off is I've had more than my ample opportunity to get involved with something that I didn't need to be involved with, and I passed on most of it too. You know, but you've known me long enough. I've had a share of nice looking women.
Yeah.
But I didn't have to go out there just, you know, grabbing everything and anything that walked through my path.
You know what, man? The funny part about it, I don't regret any of it.
Yeah, see, I just don't need that. I don't need the hassle. But you've been married though. But you were married for like 23 of those years though.
Yeah. Exactly, but I ran like a fucking me. I mean, that's part of why I think, and dude, I say this, honest to God's truth, did not cheat on her the whole time.
Sure.
I was done. It got to where ass was not fucking special,
right,
for a long time. You know, it just wasn't. The thrill of the kill was no longer there once you fucking killed half a village. No.
It takes a village.
Well, you know, I mean, dude, 100. I'm dead serious with 150. You know, I mean, there were weeks where there was 4 or 5, 6 different chicks.
Right.
You know, when we were playing fucking, you know, roulette or whatever. Why not?
How did you? And again, I don't even know if this is a true statement, but how did you manage to have that many trysts and not end up catching something?
Beats me. I no idea how, but I never caught anything.
Wow,
I never did.
You're lucky.
You know, the ones that skeeved me out a little bit, I would fucking slap a fucking condom on, but most of them, you know, didn't. You know, they didn't skeeve me out so bad.
Wow.
Like the hookers, I would. The fucking, you know, the bartender chicks that would fucking suck your dick in the bar, I would. But, you know, the ones that you would just meet. And dude, all right, since I'm just going way off the rails tonight.
You are.
But so here was how this worked. The American chicks hated the Korean chicks. Hated them. Because the Korean chicks would give you puss.
Yeah, because they were loose and they were, you know.
You didn't have to give anything to get it.
Right, because you didn't have to work for it.
Right. So it rendered the American chicks' whole fucking value system invalid.
Yeah, and it made them irrelevant.
Right. It really did. Now, as you remember, or you may not know, I spoke fairly fluent Korean for a little while.
Sure.
Don't anymore. I can remember how to order, you know, beer and shit, but that's about it anymore. But I spoke pretty decent Korean at the time. So what I used to do was I would tell the American chicks how absolutely disgusted I was with the American guys that were banging Korean chicks.
Okay.
I would literally be like, how can they fucking be slamming these fucking slopes? You know, how can that fucking be going on? You know, just brutal.
Racist much?
Oh, dude, it was part of the play.
Sure.
Was to hate Koreans.
Okay.
And I would just play that off. I'd be like, I hate these fucking Korean bitches, you know. They're fucking disgusting, you know, blah, blah, blah. And all the American chicks would be like, oh, that's so sweet, blah, 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 blah. And I was banging the fucking American chicks in our barracks like wildfire, man. Like most of them, you know, because they thought I hated the Korean chicks.
Okay.
But if it got to be midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't have something that looked like it was happening, I got in a cab and I drove it into the part of Seoul where the people that only spoke English didn't go. And I'd go pick up chicks down there. And that's what I used to do. And I had an apartment off the base where most guys only had the barracks.
Sure.
So I would go into deeper Seoul. I'd speak Korean with these chicks. I'd take them back to my apartment, bang them, and the American chicks were none the wiser. So it was a perfect play. It was fun. It was great.
So that sounds like you basically made a career out of that for a short time.
Dude, 2.5 years. You're only supposed to stay in Korea 12 months. I stayed 2.5 years.
Right.
I loved it there.
Right.
Dude, I would have retired there if I hadn't got so fucking burned out.
Right.
You know, I would have probably retired and died there. I loved it. I really did love it.
Angel of Death. Chris single-handedly populated a small Korean village.
It's Chris-san. Village of Chris-san.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, I've had it's the same reason I'm pervy now. Because now all of a sudden I'm free again.
Right.
You know, now after a long period with the same chick, it's like I can run a little bit. And I've had some running going on, you know, now.
Sure.
And I mean, you're aware. There's certainly no shortage. And I'm a fat mess. Wait till I get up fully in shape.
Right. Nathan from Kentucky. Chris is a member of the Penicillin Shot of the Month Club.
No, never did. Honest. Look, I'd admit it. Why wouldn't I admit it?
Right.
Never caught anything. And I don't know how. I don't know how that didn't happen to me, but I'm glad it didn't. It was definitely fun, dude. In Korea, you could do everything.
Sure.
Threesomes, foursomes, whatever.
Right.
Dude, that one girl, Brenda, first threesome I ever had was me, her, and a chick that I hired. You know, I literally just said to her, I said, I want to have a threesome. And she was like, no. And I was like, yes. And took her back to the apartment, went out, found me a decent Korean chick, brought her back.
Wow.
Said, do this for me.
Right.
And she did. It's like, all right, cool.
You sound like Robert De Niro in The Scent of a Woman. East meets West.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of what it was.
Sure.
That Brenda girl, she sort of looked Koreanish a little bit.
Koreanish.
She did. I'll put a picture up of her on Facebook.
Right.
I will. I don't care. It's not like I'm doing anything with her.
Well, have you purged yourself of all your improprieties?
Unless you want more, I can tell fucking fuck stories all night, man. Yeah. You know, I have that Korea experience all by itself is a timeline that I never could talk about because that was another thing that
yeah, well, of course you can't bring that up when you're married.
Yep, that was a big no. You're fucking proud of that time. You're proud of that time. Yep. Okay. Pretty much.
All right. Well, I'm going to play a couple of tunes, and I think we got to come back and do that Black Women in Metal.
Okay.
Sounds like an interesting topic.
Yeah. Next topic.
Right. Well, I'm going to play this tune for you, dude. This one comes from the Hair of the Dog self-titled debut release, and this one is called The Party Ain't Over.
There you go. That's me.
It's Hair of the Dog exclusively here
on your classic metal show.